Welcome, welcome, friends of the toast. And we have the old school Kiln Fiend with a twist. And the twist is not the Red Mage's Rapier. So it's not that. It's not that lava thing either. It's not the Gitu Lava Mancer guy. You know what I'm talking about. It's like the Kiln Fiend and Festival Crasher, but not as good. Because it's like a 1-2 and it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. However, there is a new card that gave this some heat, in my opinion. So let's get right into this hot dog version of this deck, right? We have Kiln Fiend, which is the namesake of the deck. So, of course, there's a playset. This elemental beast, which looks like the Ghostbusters dog. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, the Fiend gets +3/+0 until end of turn, and we have lots of those to be cast in. So, of course, we are running a playset of the Fiend. Festival Crasher or Baby Fiend. But you know what? It's not really that much of a Baby Fiend because it's a 1/3. So it makes it a little bit resilient, though not to bolts. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, guess what it does? It gets +2/+0 until end of turn. And a playset. Now, look at it's the dog, and we thanks the Soul Eaters for melting the sinful that we may be reminded of our own insignificances. Isn't that fun? So, the Immolating Soul Eater is a 2-mana artifact creature and a hound. Not really a dog. I don't know. Are hounds dogs now? I think they might be. I'll have to ask the lady. She would know. So you can pay 1 red or 2 Phyrexian life. Immolating Soul Eater gets +1/+0 until end of turno. So we will talk about that. We are going to do a deck tech talking about this. We're going to, do a mulligan guide for all these. That's going to come in order. So go ahead and watch the mulligan guides after these. We have 2 Immolating Soul Eaters in the main deck. Those are very different colors. Very different colors of those Soul Eaters. Very interesting. And we have 2 Crackling Cyclops. So, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn, and it's a 0/4. However, it is 2 and a red, little costly for the deck, but that's all right because that +3/+0, that protection from bolts, 2 of them will find its way into there always. Now, into the meat. We have 1 Brute Force in the main deck because we don't want to get greedy. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Lava Dart. Sometimes a playset, but we're trying it with just 2. Lava Dart deals 1 damage to any target. You flash it back, you sack a mountain. So that is basically giving, for 1 mana, I'm going to put like +6/+0 on one of our dogs. So we have Gut Shot. Take care of some pesky things that might get in the way of our plans. And we can pay the life. So 2 of these is perfect and deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Zapow. And again, it will trigger that instant. We have Teamer Battle Rage. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Now, always time this out so that Ferocious will be triggered. The creature also gains trample until end of turn if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. 2 of those. That trample's very useful. You can even almost run 3 of those, and we may try it as the deck progresses. But as I said, there will be some matchups coming because we're going to have Pauper Fight Club, and then we're going to have Crazy Fight Club too, where we're going to do decks from different formats. But to begin, we just want to get our Pauper deck tech out of the way so everybody can meet the kids, you know what I mean? So, the Apostle's Blessing. Another Phyrexian. It's basically going to be 1 red for us. Target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts or from the color of your choice until end of turn. So that protection means unblockable, damage will get through, won't be countered, yada, yada, yada. Very good for us, especially at 1 mana, and it's like kind of like a really good it's like a pump spell protection in this deck. So it's so good, but we are just running 3 of those because there's a special card that many people do not run in the deck, but we decided, even though the people that do run it seem to run just 1, we've decided to run 2, and we're going to see how it goes. And we're getting up to it. So Mutagenic Growth, of course, is a playset. because why wouldn't you want to give a dog 5/5, right? Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Now we're always going to be paying that. We are throwing our life to the wind in this deck. Just like that, it's gone. Life is but a shadow. Add 2 mana and any combination of colors to your mana pool with Manamorphose. So this is going to be our favorite card here. We've loved this. We've played this card forever. We don't play it in Modern anymore, and it kind of makes us sad because it brings us back to when we got back into Modern and playing the Storm. So, basically we're going to add 2 red mana and draw a card, and that's just going to create a chain reaction, hopefully, with the dogs. We have Reckless Charge. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. And you can flash it back for 2 and a red. So, that flashback's pretty but this card's not the greatest. That haste is good though, but all these are 2 mana creatures, so why is haste good? We're going to hold this back so we can talk about that. Now, one of the real workhorses of the deck here is Assault Strobe. And if this was an instant, oh my god, the world of Infect would become a red world. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. So you can't sneak it in. You're going to do it. But generally in this deck, you can make a situation where you're not going to have pesky blockers in your way anyways, especially if you mulligan correctly and sideboard properly. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Just think of it. Boom. Just like that. Bang. And sometimes it's huge. Sometimes that's going to be fatal. Fatal, fatal, fatal. So, of course, because it's 1 mana, even though it's a sorcery, we have a play set. And so does everybody else in this deck. So we're not unique there, are we? All right. We have Rite of Flame. Now, this one is the reason we double sleeve, pretty much. This and Manamorphose. My goodness. I used to have so many Manamorphose. I think I had 4 play sets and, like, a foiled play set of 1. And then a few in some Commander decks, too. So, I digress. But Rite of Flame as well. Oh, my goodness. Expensive, right? So we were able to get a playset, but still, this deck is probably the most expensive of our Pauper decks. Now, Rite of Flame, add 2 to the mana pool, then add 1 to the mana pool for each card named Rite of Flame in each graveyard. So, imagine when this was being played heavily. Oh, Lord, the mana in red. Imagine if it was green. Okay, anyhow. You know, it has kind of like a black feel to it too. It could be like a black because think of it. You could do let's talk about that for a second. That's interesting. So if you did this in green, it'd be add a 1/1 counter and trample to each creature along with the mana. That would be the secondary part. So play it, add 2 green, and then add 1+1/+1 counter for each card named a Rite of Growth or whatever it would be. And then for black, it'd be like a Rite of Consummation, right? No, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Consecration? Maybe that's it. Rite of Consecration. That could be the black one. And that one we could be add 1 to the mana pool for each card named Rite of Flame in each graveyard. Something that kind of be pretty sweet, but I digress. We could just ruin the whole format if we had things like that. Anyways, this right here, if you're familiar with modern Storm decks, before the ban, there are cards that are like this, Arcanes. So, Rite of Flame. So, like, you play it, you add 2 to the mana pool, right? And then this goes into the graveyard, and then you add 1 to the mana pool. So, it's basically you pay 1 and you get 3, which is really good. I mean, it's almost too good. But in this deck, this works with Reckless Charge, because watch, I will show. All right. Where are you? Where are you, Tony? All right, hold the phone. Okay, so let's say we are going into turn 2 here. We'll use Kiln Fiend. All right, so before we continue, I just want to show this. I know we haven't showed the deck yet, but I really want to. All right, so anyways, let's say we play our Kiln Fiend. All right, because we played Rite of Flame with 1 mana. So if we play Kiln Fiend on turn 1, okay, by way of Right of Flame. So say we have our Kiln Fiend in hand, we have Rights of Flame. So we play Right of Flame. Add 2, play Kiln Fiend. Add 1, play Reckless Charge. So this is going to get +3 +0, but it's really going to get +6 +0 and get haste. So turn 1, we can already deal 7 damage to our opponent, because if we go first, they're not going to have anything. And because we're running those 4 Right of Flames like that, like most do, a lot of people run 1, but we're running 2 because we want a little bit more consistency with this, but we don't want more than this because we don't want to have these, because it is kind of not a good card in this deck. It's not the best. We can do better, especially in a deck where we could almost justify a 3rd copy of, what was it? It was... what did I say? A 3rd copy of? Was it no, Temur Battle Rage? Yeah, or a 4th copy of Apostle's Blessing even. However, this action right here, especially if you have a couple free things in your hand, like 2 mutagenics. Let's just look at this real quick. All right, so turn 1. Let's say we played 3 Right of Flames. Okay, so turn 1 we tap Right of Flame, Right of Flame, Right of Flame, Right of Flame. Play this. Play Reckless Charge on it, play Mutagenic Growths, and whatever else we have, we could maybe play an Assault Strobe. You do the math. That's huge. That is huge, huge damage. And that is why we're running 2 Reckless Charges. Good story and good talk. All right, back into the deck. Kill me? Yeah, don't wait there, you little pup. Good dog. All right. You go back there. So, the last of our sorceries is Ancestral Anger. Target creature gains trample and gets +X +0 until end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. And you draw a card. So this card, there's a lot going on here. This is pretty dang good for us. The only thing that would make it better is what? Kids at home, can I hear you? All right, everybody stick your head out the window right now. What would make this card better? Here we go. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. That's right, if it was an instant. But it isn't, and that's all right. That's okay. Maybe we'll get one like it someday that's an instant. Oh, all right. Now, because you know what we do with lands on this channel. We love lands. They are our favorite cards. We love lands. We really, really love them. I love lands. They are my favorite cards, but we like to go skimpy with lands in our decks. You know this in every format. So we have 16 lands. All right. Oh, and these, a quick story here. Remember the old channel? Anybody that is a modern player, and we always used to give shout outs back in the day to MTG Deckmasters, one of the best modern channels on YouTube that unfortunately disappeared. But MTG Deckmasters went to a tournament, and he used a couple of cool vintage lands as the Manamorphose. And guess what? Disqualified because he had extra cards in his deck box. It's ridiculous. It's silly. He wasn't. How could you cheat with just basic lands like that? They were indifferent. They weren't even sleeved. But in any case, we use these for our Manamorphose. So those are pretty cool. I like them. Good old Zendikar full lands, and you know, they're almost the land, but they're nice. Putting them in a sleeve gives them like a solid feel. All right, let's go into this shitty-badee. All right, so if we want a little bit more meat and the bone, we can throw in a Soul Eater. Now, you could run 2 Soul Eaters in the sideboard, okay, and 2 Crackling Cyclops. And to be honest with you, I'm really considering adding 1 more Crackling Cyclops to the sideboard and taking something out of here. However, we're just going to wait and see a little bit. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, we know what this guy does. We know what that guy does. Now we have End the Festivities. Because, hey, it's a hot dogs deck. We can't have, you know, those other ones. What's that other one? The one from Rival, the Ixalan one. Tectonic something, Tectonic Blast, whatever. We got to have the one with the dogs on it, because this is hot dogs. So we have End the Festivities. Deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So, don't see many planeswalkers in Pauper. However, that one has that extra feature. And even though it's not relevant to us, we like the artwork much better. We have 3 of those in the Swadidi Badidi. We have a Brute Force. And this could make its way in if you could take out, you know, one of the Reckless Charge. Maybe would probably be a good one, I'd say, to put this in. Now we have Raise the Effigy, destroy target artifact. So an artifact heavy deck, artifact lands. We ran 3 of these. I like 3 of them. I won't say I don't like 3, I do. But it was just a little much. We needed a little bit more in this deck. So anyways, we have a Lightning Bolt. Does 3 damage to 1 target. We are running 3 Lightning Bolts. Kind of like an homage to the old Hollow Man that ran 3. Now it runs 4. But 3 of these is good. Add these in if you get some kind of pesky blockers that you can't ping with a gut shot or something. Very good. So that not only will that trigger our effect, but it will also take life from our opponent and or clear the way for damage to go through. Now, in the instance of Blue Terror, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red elemental blasts. So this is not only good for Blue Terror, though, but if we find a deck that has a lot of counter spells, this is excellent. Especially, you know, it seems like fairies are kind of ticking up. Seeing them more and more a little bit. So that is the deck. And as always, thank you for joining me. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. We might do a little bit of gold fishing today and show you guys the mulligan guide for Blue Terror, I think is what we'll do. Maybe we'll do Blue Terror. So, best regards and happy returns. And always, right downstairs in the description, you will find the deck list.